Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of TWIRL. It's the show where we recap everything that's been happening in the past week of Rocket League. This week we're going to be taking a look at the upcoming Lunar event in Rocket League. We've got Lawler, no longer a part of the RLCS broadcast. We've got some changes to the Vitality roster. We've got an update to the amazing Forge mod. We got the community content of great goals and great designs, and much more to take a look at. So we're going to be starting off with our news, taking a look at the upcoming Lunar event in Rocket League. Now this event is called the Lucky Lanterns event, and it's going to be running from January 20th until February the 10th. The event is ending just before Valentine's Day, so that event is probably going to start right after Lucky Lanterns. Now with this update, we're going to be getting the new arena, the Forbidden Temple. You might have seen this one already because it was included in the Chinese version of Rocket League. It looks fantastic and a lot of people were excited to play on it, so I'm sure everyone's very happy with this one. Just like the other events, you can earn red envelopes to buy items, and those items are looking really cool. A lot of interesting decals, but sadly enough, nothing for the ever so popular Fennec. They also mentioned in the post that we should stop by the item shop throughout the event to check out some cool new themed items. Two of those possible items that are going to be in the item shop are the Lantern Goal Explosion and the Dragon Goal Explosion, both of which look really cool. We've also got the Golden Lanterns in this event, and they're going to contain items from the Champion Series 1, 2, and 3. We've got the Titanium White Dominus finally entering the item shop. This has been a highly anticipated item, can pick it up for 1,100 credits, which is not too bad, and you've got until the end of tomorrow, Sunday the 19th of November, to buy it if you want to pick it up for yourself. We then have Lawler announcing that he will no longer be part of this year's RLCS broadcast. And it's pretty evident that this was a decision made by Epic or Sonex and not made by Lawler himself. He was a fan favorite on the desk, a lot of people sad to see him go, and he is very passionate about the game. He released a video on his YouTube channel where he did get quite emotional because he really appreciated all the support he was getting. Now hopefully he's able to stay within the scene, considering he's so passionate, and hopefully he's not stolen away by some other game or company. This week we also had a lot of roster news in the esports side of things. We had teams like Dignitas and Cloud9 announcing that their rosters are staying the same. We saw some minor shuffles and moves here and there, but probably the biggest announcement is with regards to Vitality. They initially announced that Scrub Killer's contract had come to an end, and then they put out two announcements saying that they picked up Alpha and that Scrub Killer is leaving the team. Now Scrub Killer is a phenomenal player and he did have a good stay on Vitality, so I definitely don't think it was a performance-based decision. However, with the pickup of Alpha and the creation of the French trio, they might be looking to win this year's title through improved communication. Last week I took a look at a triple dash, which involved chaining together 3 wave dashes very quickly. Well, I had someone by the name of G on Discord message me that he was playing around with it, and he actually came out with the quad wave dash. When we spoke about the triple wave dash, there were some concerns about how practical it is. Probably same thing with this quad wave dash, but there's no denying it looks super cool and funky. We're then going to be moving on to our creation segment. In one of our older videos, we took a look at a Forge mod developed by YouTuber GLH. Well, he's been making some big strides with that mod and made a video showcasing his new update. I'm really wishing that Sonex would pick this up so that all the consoles can experience how cool this mod is. We had a Fennec redesign coming out from Resonade. A few people saying they prefer the default version, but I think it's cool to mix things up, and it's always cool to have some new versions of existing cars in the game. We then had a Lego Dominus built by Spartan. Said it took 2.5 months to design, 16 hours to build, looks incredible, and there's even an animation to go with it. We then had an Octane illustration coming out from Mary. Looks fantastic and could make a great wallpaper if you're looking for an artsy Octane. Tangy Anime showed off his animated wallpaper with a dynamic clock using software called Wallpaper Engine. We then had Naffy Lich King showing off a framed circuit board that was made for him by a friend. Looks super cool, and he let me know that his friend makes a lot of these circuit board art pieces. They're based in Northern Ireland, so if you're around there and want to pick one of these up, you can find them linked down in the description. The last creation comes out from Jumper X, and it's an interesting sort of game mode or twist that you could play with your friends. This one's called The Dude, and it's got different tiers where you equip different items. if you've got the lowest points when playing with a friend, you go up a tier. If you have the most points, you go down a tier. And with each tier, it shows you items that you have to equip to your car. Once you hit tier 5, you're gonna have to play with that infamous scarab. Now this looks really fun, can be a nice twist if you want to spice up the game with your friends, and you could even customize it to make it perfect for yourself. We're then going to be moving on to our plays of the week, and we've got quite a lot to take a look at. The first play is a fantastic save coming off from hucamp, really great showcase of skill, looks super cool, and this play was actually featured on the ESPN Sports Center Facebook page. Our next play is a save from EnderSackboy. He's further back than his opponent, however he's moving fast and pulls off a fantastic flip to save the ball and get it to the other side of the field. Some of you might know the kung fu fighting style called the Drunken monkey. It's quite difficult to follow, a lot of spins, a lot of rolls, some incoherent jabs, and I think that's the perfect way to describe the next goal coming out from Cyph RL. Our next play is from Itsjoeboi. He activates spikes to pick up the ball, notices that someone's grappled onto it, and lets his opponent score an own goal. We then have a goal coming out from Matt-hias. For this one, he's coming off the ceiling and manages to find a crazy angle to pick his team up a goal. Our next play is from D-Wig. He does well on defense, fakes out 2 opponents, he's going for the open goals, and his teammate decides to mess it all up. Our next goal comes out from Cobra RL. This one's very different, and it's a funky edit, showing off what can be pulled off with the replay feature. Our next goal is coming out from Den RL. He takes the ball from one corner of the field to the other, smacks it across with a Musty flick, and manages to get the perfect read on it, beating out 2 defenders. Next up we have Timothy. Gets a fairly standard shot towards the ball, looks like it's going to be saved by the defender, but he uses the plunger to pull it back and take a second shot. We then have a few plays coming out from our Discord server. You'll find the link for it down below if you guys would like to submit your own clips or fashion designs and possibly have them featured in these videos. The first play is coming out from Magic Chef. First defender kind of whiffs the ball, but he pulls off some illegal moves, snapping the ankles of the second defender. Next up is Azza RL with a fantastic showcase of mechanical skill, scoring himself a goal from quite an uncomfortable angle. We then have a play by Pelican, who's usually coming out with the fashion designs, but in this one he grabs himself a flip reset from the ceiling and pulls off, for me, probably the most satisfying shot in today's video. And our final play for today's video comes out from Limburger. He's in a 1v1, looks like he's going to go up the wall, instead goes for the pinch, and the opponent looks completely shook. We're then going to move on to our fashion segment, and we've got the golden Shisa by ThatBigDanishDude. I'm a big sucker for orange designs, and I just feel the color is so rich within this one, especially with those metal star wheels. We then have Happy Accidents, showing off a wonderful combination of the reactor wheels with the color of the fireworks boost. Next up, we have Gleason 630. He calls this one Knocked into Another Universe, and it's probably the first design I like using the kaleidoscope decal. I think it fits really well with that topper, with the theme of being knocked unconscious in a cartoon. Next up is a design by Infernex. He calls this one Flex on Flex. You got the Flex decal, and you're flexing with all the gold and the Emerald Pro wheels. Now unfortunately this design only works on PC, because you need a mod to get the black paint finish, but if you can use one of those mods, you can rock this amazing design. We then have some designs from our Discord server. First one's coming out from Zombies Preacher, calls this one the city design. Really nice take. He's using the Germified decal to create a starry theme, and you've got those equalizer wheels that look like skyscrapers. He also made a daytime version where you've got the sun and the clouds. Cyph is then coming out with some fantastic shots of 2 Dominus designs. The one has that nice combination of the Trigon decal with the synthwave boost, and then you've got the combination of the Z-frame wheels and the mainframe decal. These are some beautiful shots, and I think you could even use them as wallpapers. Next up is a Christmas design by Tony. Even though Christmas has ended, I think this is a really creative use of the slipstream decal. And the final 3 designs come out from Aiden Stevens. He's showing his creativity by matching up 3 card designs with 3 of their album covers. But that is going to be a wrap on this week in Rocket League. Let me know what you guys thought about this one. Are you hyped for the Lunar event? Are you happy to see Alpha and Vitality? Or do you think they should have kept Scrub Killer? Or you guys can let me know in the comments. Also, if you guys are enjoying these videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see more. And as always, my friends, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.